Good morning. After decades of intricate negotiations, the comprehensive Mercosur agreement between the European Union and the South American nations of Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay has provisionally entered into force on May 1st, 2026. This landmark deal, a quarter century in the making, promises a vast expansion of trade and new economic possibilities for both blocs. Yet it also casts a long shadow of concern for some. Deep in Brazil, at the Magnifica distillery, nestled on a farm 3 hours by car from Rio de Janeiro, Raul de Freitas and his team craft CachaAa, the very spirit that forms the heart of every good caipirinha. Mr. de Freitas is optimistic about the agreement, stating, "We are really very confident about the agreement. I believe it will put Brazil on the map. And with a little luck, many more people in Europe will drink good cachaça in the future." Cachaça is just one of many Brazilian products, including orange juice, coffee, and shoes, that will now see tariffs lifted when exported to the European Union. Conversely, European products such as Alzheimer's medication and aircraft parts will benefit from reduced tariffs when entering Mercosur nations. Brazilian President Luiz InA Lula da Silva underscored the difficulty of forging this agreement. He stated, "This treaty was forged with iron, sweat, and blood, because there are many who want to prevent Brazil from growing, from competing, and from placing its products on foreign markets." President Lula alluded to European Union countries that had, until recently, attempted to halt or dilute the treaty. This agreement is designed to create one of the world's largest free trade zones, encompassing some 700 million people. The European Union Commission estimates an export boost of 48 billion euros for the European Union countries by 2040, while Mercosur states are projected to see a gain of nearly 9 billion euros. Beyond economics, President Lula highlighted the geopolitical significance, stating, "It comes at a very important time because it strengthens the idea of multilateralism." However, not everyone views the agreement with such optimism. Antonio Andrioli from Brazil's State University da Fronteira Sul, which focuses on sustainable agriculture, argues that the Mercosur customs agreement exacerbates social inequality and entrenches an economic model reliant on heavy pesticide use, the destruction of ecosystems, and even job losses. Mr. Andrioli, who himself was once a soybean farmer, warns of these profound consequences. Thousands of kilometers south, beneath the snow-capped Andes Mountains in Mendoza, Argentina, JosAc Zuccardi manages one of the country's most exclusive family-run wineries. For him, the agreement represents a direct threat. Mr. Zuccardi explains, "For us, the agreement is a threat. Europe has decided to subsidize agriculture to keep the population in rural areas. We, on the other hand, receive no subsidies whatsoever," he continues. "Consequently, when wine or olive oil from Spain, France, or Italy arrives here, there is a whole series of state subsidies behind it, which allows these products to compete with us under far more favorable conditions." It is important to note that the removal of trade barriers for products like wine and olive oil will not happen immediately. These changes will be phased in over several years, with specific timelines varying from product to product. Similarly, expanded quotas for around 20 products, including beef, poultry, and ethanol, will also not take effect right away. Currently, discussions are still underway within Mercosur itself regarding how these quotas will be allocated among its member states. The provisional entry into force of the trade agreement between the European Union and Mercosur marks a pivotal moment, presenting both significant new opportunities and considerable new uncertainties for both sides. The only remaining challenge that could halt its full implementation would be an adverse ruling from the European Court of Justice, which has been approached by the European Parliament. This agreement represents a monumental step in global trade relations, the outcome of a prolonged and often contentious journey. What's your take on EU-Mercosur Trade Deal? Opportunities and fears take hold. Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence